Hi, ladies. So I'm Ariel. I love wine. Wine is my thing. Wine brought me here to Brno. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm Ariel. I'm from New York, and I live in Brno now for 10 months. And I teach wine classes in Brno. I teach wine classes in English in Brno.
You do. And now also with me, you're working with me. Yes. This is exciting.
My plan is working out just as I predicted. No, I'm kidding. So we have our class next week, Nina. 1 week from tomorrow.
Yes, I love drinking wine with this girl, because she will tell you so much about every single bottle that you open with her. And it's so interesting. I've never been to a wine tasting like this. You are quite special. So what brought you to Brno? You have been living in Brno for how long now?
We have been living here, in Brno for 10 months.
10 months? So you're quite new. You're quite new. Yeah. How is Brno treating you?
I love it here. I never want to leave. This is my new home.
I hope you will stay as long as possible, because we only met recently, but you're so nice to hang out with, and you're so much fun, and you're so knowledgeable, you know, lots about wine. And you like to drink wine. That's always a plus. Always a plus here in Moravia.
Yes.
So what brought you here? Why are you living in Brno?
So we moved to Brno. So I'm married, and my husband works for Red Hat, the IT company. And he is on a 2-year assignment or 2-year engagement with his company. And that's why we live in Brno.
You are quite unique with your knowledge of French, because you speak French.
I do. I majored in French in university. So I have a French diploma. And so I know how difficult it is, ladies, to learn a language. But it's just practice and making mistakes. I made so many mistakes, but the more mistakes you make, the more you learn. And the easier it gets when you keep repeating and repeating and repeating all the time, repetition. But it's worth it at the end when you can have a conversation with someone and feel really confident. It makes you feel so good. So,
or you can go on a trip with an American girl to have some burčak on Palava and have a blast and enjoy the day and just make new friends all around the world because of learning English and French and German and Italian and Spanish and all these languages. In my next life, I want to be a polyglot. I want to speak many more languages. Yes. Yeah. So, alors, tu parles français? Très bien français?
Oui, je parle français. Je parle français, je parle anglais. Je hablo español.
Español.
Deutsche auch.
You speak German as well.
Yeah, ein bisschen.
You ladies, this is a special one.
It's what happens when you
Where do they make you?
In New York.
I have never met an American in New York. Oh, tell us more about New York City.
Beautiful.
Because all we know is from Sex and the City and Woody Allen films. I think, ladies, who loves New York? If you love New York, please post in the comments. Say something in the comments, because we have a lady from New York. You don't have this terrible New York. Oh, and friends, of course. You don't have this terrible New York accent like Janice.
Like on Friends.
So you sound normal. Do New York ladies, they don't sound like you, right?
No, they don't.
Can you imitate it? Can you imitate the
Sure. I'm specifically from Long Island, so it's a smaller part of New York City. But we say, I walk in the mall and I talk with my friends and I eat chocolate and I drink beer and I like wine. I really like to drink wine at the mall with my friend Vinny. And normally I would say I walk in the mall with my friends, Jimmy, and I drink wine. But when you drink wine with your friends and you hang out, it's a really terrible accent. I deliberately lost my accent when I moved to France because people didn't understand me when I spoke English because it was so strong. So I adapted how I spoke to speak slowly and to speak more clearly. And eventually, with years going by, it just was gone.
I think you speak very clearly. What do you say, ladies? Do you understand? Does Ariel articulate well? I think you like from. I know so many Americans who don't speak clearly, and it's really difficult for people to understand. And your pronunciation is very clear, I think. Yeah, and you also used to work as an English teacher. Yeah, you used to work.
I was, yeah, in France. In France, I taught children mainly, middle school. So
that's hard.
Age, yes, yes, from
teenagers.
Oh yeah, 15, 16-year-old teenagers in France. So that was very interesting, but a great experience to be a teacher. And I respect teachers because it's very difficult.
I respect teachers of kids. Yes, yeah, because I teach mainly adults. I also teach kids sometimes, but just a little bit. I have a 10-year-old at home, so just a little bit, and that's enough. But adults, it's a different story. It's much easier, much easier. I think it's a different job, I think. Why did you become a sommelier? Because it's you normally see men doing this.
Yeah.
You're my first lady. You're my first female sommelier.
Yeah, there are a lot of men who do this, and it's kind of funny how it happens. So like I said, I studied French, and I did 1 year of teaching, and 1 year for me was enough. And I thought, what else can I do with French that I can still use it and still speak French? And I discovered wine in France and thought, this is a great thing. And I love teaching about wine. So I became a certified sommelier in New York. I took my certification courses and then moved to North Carolina and gave up my hotel career and decided I did not want to work in hotels. I wanted to focus on wine. And I became a buyer. A wine buyer is basically someone who works at a shop and orders the wine for the shop and decides what is good, what is bad, and organizes the inventory. So I did that for 3 years, and now I live in Brno. So I decided to, instead of working for somebody else, I decided to start my own business, being able to do what I want to do and to teach people about wine and about all of the amazing places in South Moravia to discover wine. And I love it.
That's amazing. And do you feel any limitations that you are not Czech, you are a woman, you're a freelancer? That's a, wow, what a combo.
So the language is definitely the hardest part. So I went to a tasting last night, for example, at Castellana Trattoria, and the tasting is entirely in Czech. And so it can be, I go to these tastings quite often. I go to at least one a week. And it can be really frustrating because I can understand a little bit, but I can't ask a question. So my Czech is just not quite good enough. But I still go, I still do it. I'm not scared. And I think that's the thing that all of you ladies to stay motivated. Don't be scared. Just keep doing it. Because if you're scared, you're never going to succeed. So
look at her. Look at her. Look at her. She's living in a country where she doesn't understand the language, and she makes money here.
Yeah.
And makes lots of friends. You have so many friends here now, in the wine business and everywhere else, so it's all about your approach, and what you spread in the world, that's what you receive, right?
Yeah.
Karma. So when you spread joy, it's all about karma. Yes. Yeah. When you spread joy, when you smile at people, even if you make mistakes, even if you speak basic English or basic Czech in your case, you survive, and you learn step by step. You learn slowly.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly it.
Anyone here wants to spend 4 hours with us, or maybe more, because we never shut up, from 5 to 9, and maybe the party will continue, who knows. Next Thursday, right? It's on Thursday, on the 3rd of October in Brno. Let me know, and I'll send you all the information needed and the registration form. And we still have 3 places left. So if you want to join us, it's for women only. Yes, and we will speak and drink about how many? 8 different wines.
8 wines. Yes, 8 wines.
Yay.
Yes.
And they will not only Moravian wines. Yeah?
No. There will be. I like to do a comparison tasting. So I take 2 wines. So imagine there's one more wine glass here. So 2 wines side by side, and I'll talk about both wines. I'll tell you why they're different, and the different traits or characters in the wine, who made it, and all of those.
And we will be tasting some food and some other things, to understand the tastes better.
Exactly.
Zážitkové, experiential wine tasting. Very, like, you've never done anything like that before.
Right.
Ariel was just telling me you bought some interesting equipment for this, for the tasting. So
I am super excited. And so what I like to do is make wine, to make you understand wine better, is to have different elements in food, like sugar or salt. And how does that change the way that wine affects the way you taste? And it can be very interesting, and you can learn so much about yourself and your ability to taste. I think women have a better sense of smell and a better taste than men. Oh yeah, it's scientifically proven that women have a better nose and better sense of smell than men do.
So I will thank you for joining us, for spending this time with us, and sharing your knowledge and your story with us. I'm so happy to have met you, and that we can be doing these fun things, fun activities, anything connected with wine, New York, and a cool American chick. I'm all up for it.
Yeah. Thank you, Nina. Thanks, ladies.